You had your bag over your shoulder? You're probably looking at chicks.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let me get started here. Okay, U.S. markets obviously had a huge session Friday evening on the back of the U.S. non-farm payrolls number. Beat expectations basically everywhere it possibly could. I think what the most important thing wasn't necessarily that we beat on the April jobs numbers, because that beat was actually, I think we only beat by 20,000 or so. But what was so impressive was the revisions for the prior 2 months. I mean, the revision to, I think, the month of March was up by about 75 or 80,000. And then I think even the February revision was another 25,000 higher. So just really, really impressive from the revision standpoint. I think, also the fact that we had a beat on the current month, everything came together and just really set markets on fire. We're basically on most indexes around the world kind of ripped to new highs as of the last couple of years, and some of them even all-time highs. So really important to watch that going forward. Obviously, in the S&P now above 1,600, we're at all-time highs. And we had a little bit of a change in leadership over on Friday. We saw basic materials, commodities, energy stocks really trading very well, where they'd really been the laggard. So something I don't know if it's going to be able to last, but something that is a little bit of a change we need to keep an eye on. Asian markets, just let me move that down a touch. Asian markets continued their upward momentum on the back of a strong U.S. session. Obviously, commodity stocks continue to kind of be the leader there overnight. But I think what the most important thing is, and probably one of the reasons why we're getting such a run here in commodity stocks, are the comments that have been coming out of Europe over the past few sessions. We had previously, I think early in the week, the new Italian Prime Minister saying that the age of austerity is coming to an end. You saw the French finance minister on Sunday, who also said that austerity is over. I think the entire region, everyone's warming up to the fact that the fiscal discipline that they've put in place hasn't really been helping at all. It's only been hurting. And I think Europe has really been the big laggard globally. So that's that having been said, I think it's a really, really bright spot for global economies, and that's probably what's giving us this next leg up. It's giving us this leg up right now in the commodities market, and might continue to propel the market a little bit further into May. All right, we had Berkshire Hathaway, if you guys didn't see, on Friday evening. That was better than expected, I think by $300 and something a share. There's not much more. The earnings season's pretty much over for the U.S. It really was a lackluster earnings season. A lot of misses, especially on the bottom line. On the top line. The bottom line numbers were good, but the top line numbers are very mediocre. So something to keep an eye on as well going forward. All right, market data out. We had Chinese leading index numbers that were a bit of a miss. We had HSBC services PMI numbers, which were a really big miss out of China, and that's worrying because that's basically a combination of manufacturing and services sector. Obviously, it's not as big of a service economy as a lot of other places in the world, obviously, but the fact that that's slowing down really means that the consumer's feeling it there a little bit. So this is a story we've got to continue to watch. In my opinion, this is the biggest reason why commodities have really been lagging, is because China is slowing down faster than everyone realizes and everyone thinks. So it's something that we need to monitor here going forward. All right, then we have unemployment out of Spain later. We've got PMI services numbers across the Euro region later. We've got retail sales out of Europe, and then we've got local unemployment here. All right, let's jump into the maps real quick. Okay, first thing I want to have a look at is the U.S. dollar ZAR, which we'd been looking at. I think we looked at a couple weeks ago. we're right now basically right at trend line support. You can see my lines still aren't staying. You can see here how we're right at trend line support, right at around 890, 892, somewhere in that region. Today's going to be a big day. I think that next day or two going to be very important to see if the rain can actually push any higher. I think the most important thing is now my whole thing looks like it's just not doing anything. Okay, there we go. I think the important thing is if we continue to get a bounce in platinum and gold over the next couple of days, we're going to see the rand probably break through that level, which would be a huge level. It would be the first time we've gone through that trend line in about 2 years. So, I can't overstate the importance of that enough. Anglos, you can see there how Anglos has really broken through what's really been a downtrend going all the way back to beginning of February. We closed above it on Friday. It was the first day we've had any persistent strength in the stock. I mean, we've seen a lot of days where we trade up really nicely in the morning. In the afternoon, it pretty much gives it away every time. Friday was different. Friday we closed on the highs. And that's something, like we said earlier, this commodity stocks kind of leading the rally on Friday and this morning, something that we need to pay attention to. We got a lot of stocks that are actually breaking out to the upside, especially a lot of the industrials. You can see here Remgro has broken resistance here around 85.5. Really, you can put the target on Remgro right around, call it 200. For Remgro, another $15 of upside for this thing. So that one's one to watch. The one thing I'd be careful about on that stock is that I think we are trading basically right at NAV with Remgro. So I think it's, without the underlyings going, it might be hard to get that one up that much more. You can see here in Bidvest also same sort of thing. Bidvest making new highs on Friday. Thursday and Friday sessions just absolutely explosive in Bidvest. And a trough down here around 220, broken previous highs up around 247. So I think this thing could have a hell of a long way to the upside here. If you take from trough to the breakout here, I mean, we could be looking at $27 upside in Bidvest. All right, upside on the breakout. Let's look at Imperial. Imperial looks very much the same. Another one of these industrial stocks that really took off, broke through and I think it's also, if you look at this long term, it's kind of been building a flag into this level. We got a couple false breaks through this level when we were down here. Traded up here a few days, but couldn't really hold on to it. I think that's a really definitive break through about the 212 level, and I really think we could have another $15-20 upside in Imperial on the back of that. All right, MediClinic, all these, pretty much every local pharmaceutical, every healthcare stock has just absolutely been on fire lately. MediClinic, another one of these, breaking out from sort of the 64.50 level. Probably only about 3 rand upside here, but probably another good 5% of upside left here in MediClinic. So watch that one over the next couple of days. And the last local one I'm going to show is SAB, which is really close. I mean, all these patterns, just notice how many of these patterns look identical. Really, I think we've broken out here on SA Breweries already. If you use horizontal resistance, we just barely have maybe broken out. But I think we've definitely broken out in Breweries, probably around 30 rand of upside left in that thing. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to show is CBS in the States. Sorry, I typed. CBS, you can see here, same sort of pattern, nice little flag that we've got here, if I can get my lines to stick, and really broken out there above around $47, probably only about $3 or $4 to the upside, but plenty of meat left on that bone. Keep an eye on that one over the next couple of sessions. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.